At my cousin's wedding in Los Angeles, I found my name replaced with +1, optional, on the seating card. She smirked. Hope you don't mind standing. By the time dessert was served, 3 payments had disappeared, but the real surprise was waiting in their inbox. At my cousin's wedding in Los Angeles, I found my name replaced with +1 optional on the seating card. She smirked. Hope you don't mind standing. By the time dessert was served, 3 payments had disappeared, but the real surprise was waiting in their inbox. I should have known something was off the moment I walked into the reception hall and the girl at the check-in table squinted at the list. Last name? She asked. Miller. Jordan Miller, I said, already reaching for the card. She scanned the sheet then paused visibly uncomfortable. You're listed as +1 optional. She flipped the card toward me like she hoped I wouldn't see it properly, but I did. Name? +1. Optional. Table. Standing. I blinked. Excuse me. And then I heard it. That voice. Sharp, fake sweet, and unmistakably smock. Oh, don't be dramatic. Rhea, my cousin. The bride appeared behind me, all glitter and condescension. You never RSVP'd with a +1, so I figured standing room would be fine. There's always the bar. She walked off laughing before I could respond, her overpriced heels clicking like punctuation on a punchline. I just stood there. For a second, I actually thought maybe I deserved this. Maybe I had let them treat me this way for too long because this wasn't new. This was just the latest hit in a long series of jabs. They've always found ways to remind me I wasn't really in the family, just orbiting around it. Useful, but disposable. Like when Rhea borrowed money for her bridal shower and promised to pay me back after the wedding, or when her brother Matt asked if I could spot him for his flight in tux, or when I realized I was still paying for the family Spotify account because we didn't want to lose the playlists. And like in Fool, I always said yes. I was the reliable one, the stable one, the one who never made a fuss. But tonight, they made a mistake. They humiliated the wrong person. I took a slow breath, walked over to the bar, and ordered the most expensive scotch they had. Neat. The bartender poured it without comment, but he saw the card in my hand. Standing? He asked, lips twitching. Apparently, I said flatly. I sipped. Then I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app. 3 recurring payments were still active. $850 to Rhea wedding expenses, $300 to Matt Tux travel, $75 for the family entertainment bundle. One by one, I tapped cancel, cancel, cancel. Then I opened my email and attached the receipts they'd forgotten about. The ones that proved the money wasn't spent on what they said it was. 1 attachment for each, a quiet digital truth bomb. And as the cake was brought out and Rhea basked in the applause, I hit send. To Rhea, I murmured under my breath, raising my glass toward her from across the room. May your marriage be more real than your wedding budget. She didn't hear me. But I swear, at that exact moment, 3 phones lit up, and not one of them was mine. You've always been the quiet one, Jordan. The background cousin. That's why you're easy to forget. Rhea had once said that to me at a family barbecue. She laughed when she said it, like it was a compliment, but it stayed with me. Growing up, I wasn't flashy like her. I didn't host birthday parties with pony rides or get my face plastered across the family newsletter when I graduated college. I didn't beg for money. I made it, worked my way through school, built my freelance consulting business from the ground up, and never asked anyone for anything. They loved that because it meant I was useful. I didn't fully realize it until I looked back and saw the pattern, how every single family event came with some kind of financial favor attached. Rhea's engagement dinner? I covered the wine bill because the caterer forgot it. Matt's bachelor party? They forgot to book a hotel. I booked 4 rooms. Christmas last year? The whole family forgot. I'd already paid for half the Airbnb and asked me to Venmo again. I did, because at the time, I still believed that being generous would eventually earn me a seat at the table. But no matter how much I gave, I was always the extra. The +1, optional. It wasn't until 6 months before the wedding that I started to wake up. It started small. A phone call from Rhea at 9:37 p.m. on a Tuesday. Hey. I hate to ask, but I'm short $850 for the florist deposit. I already promised them. You'll get it back after the wedding, obviously. It wasn't a question. It was a transaction she'd already assumed would go through. Like, I was her overdraft protection. I transferred the money before I could stop myself. 2 weeks later, Matt texted me. Yo, man, any chance you could help me out with the tux? I lost my wallet in Vegas and my credit shot. $300 gone. No, thank you. No follow-up. Then a month later, I saw a post on Rhea's Instagram. Final fitting for my Vera Wang gown. Worth every penny. Every penny. That was when the nausea hit. I scrolled through her profile, seeing photos of brunches, spa days, designer bags, $19 smoothies. My money had paid for those things. Not florist deposits. Not emergencies. Luxury, indulgence. Lies. I should have cut it off then. But I didn't. I told myself it wasn't worth the fight. That I was being petty, that helping family was what you do. But the thing about being exploited, you only notice how deep it goes when it's too late. The week of the wedding, I got a group text. Hey, guys, quick update. Seating chart is tight. Some people may need to float. Casual vibes. We're all family. Casual. Float. Right. Except when I arrived at the venue and saw that +1 card, I realized I was the only one without a seat. Even Matt's ex had a seat. And when I looked at Rhea, all done up in white lace and fake humility, and she smirked at me across the reception with that "hope you don't mind standing" nonsense, that was when something inside me snapped. They didn't forget me. They erased me. Not because they didn't care, but because I was inconvenient. Because I no longer served a purpose in their performance of a perfect life. But the real slap came later after I sent those receipts and turned off my phone for the night. The next morning, I woke up to chaos. My inbox had exploded. Subject: urgent. What I asked this. Subject: I'm done with you. Subject: are you insane? From Rhea? From Matt? From her planner. Apparently, the files I'd sent were flagged by the venue's finance team. The same team now refusing to process Rhea's pending wedding reimbursements due to suspicious external contributions. She had filed them under gifted sponsorships, but my receipts showed direct payment, not donation. Translation: fraud. Suddenly, her tax write-off dream turned into a full-blown audit risk. Matt's borrowed Tux fund? I'd attached the receipt to his gambling app top-up history. A neat little overlap. The Spotify plan? That was petty. I just changed the password to Gafindier Willet 123. Put the cherry on top? Grandma? Sweet, sharp-tongued, razor-eyed grandma who never said much but always knew everything. She forwarded me the family email thread Rhea had accidentally CC'd her on. And that thread? Oh, it was gold. Jordan's a beta. I'm not worried. He always caves. He'll probably Venmo more if we guilt trip him. He's the responsible one. If he makes noise at the wedding, just smile and cut his mic. I didn't know what hurt more, being called a beta or realizing they had rehearsed how to silence me. But that was fine because now I wasn't going to make noise. I was going to make a crater. You're a selfish, bitter child, Rhea screamed. I smiled calmly, opened the projector, and said, then let's talk about receipts. The family dinner was scheduled for Sunday at 7 p.m. Subject line in the group chat: emergency family gathering. Jordan needs to explain himself. Oh, I'd explain. Just not the way they were expecting. I arrived right on time. Not early, not late, with a laptop bag over my shoulder and my expression locked in neutral. The house was already full. Rhea, of course, was holding court on the couch like a queen waiting to announce an execution. My parents sat on either side of her. Matt leaned against the counter, arms crossed, glaring like I'd just insulted his haircut. I didn't sit. I walked in, set the laptop on the coffee table, and began connecting it to the living room TV. No one spoke. They were too stunned to figure out what I was doing. What is this? Rhea asked, her voice laced with venom. Did you bring slides to your own trial? Something like that, I said. Just figured we should all see the same truth before we start yelling. Slide 1. Wedding expenses. Reality versus claims. $850 for the florist? Not quite. I pulled up the bank statement. The transfer straight to Rhea. Next to it, a photo from her own Instagram. Same day, same amount. Holding a brand new Gucci purse. Caption: a little bridal self-care. Matt cursed under his breath. Slide 2. Matt's missing Tux deposit. That $300 emergency. Also false. I zoomed in on a DraftKings statement. $300 deposited into his gambling app that same night. He'd actually posted about it in the fantasy football group chat. Rookie mistake. You hacked me. Matt growled. No, I said calmly. You sent it to the wrong thread. Remember? That one where you call me ATM Jordan? Dead silence. Slide 3. Family subscriptions, log devices. Netflix, Spotify, iCloud, all 5 slots filled with family leeches. Rhea's profile? Queen Rhea. Her last played song? Thank you. Next. Matt's history? Mostly gym playlists and podcasts about crypto scams. And the final slide? A screenshot of the family group chat. Jordan's a beta. He won't do anything. Just tell him it's for the wedding. He always folds. My mother gasped. My father leaned forward, squinting at the screen. Where did you get that? Rhea snapped. Does it matter? I said. You said it. You meant it. This is insane, she shouted. You think this proves something? You're ruining this family over a few dollars. I closed the laptop. No, Rhea. You ruined it the second you decided I was only valuable when I was useful. The second you put me on a card that said +1 optional and smirked. You're so dramatic. Matt scoffed. We've helped each other before. Big deal. Help? I repeated. Is that what this is to you? Exploiting someone until they break? Calling them weak when they finally say no? Dad stood up. That's enough. You don't speak to your family like this. I'm not, I said. I'm speaking to the people who turned me into a backup wallet with a heartbeat. You've lost it, Rhea said, voice rising. You think just because you have money now you can punish us? You're acting childish and resentful, Jordan. I smiled. No. I'm a man with receipts. And speaking of receipts, I pulled out my phone. Rhea, I CC your venue's accountant and your tax consultant on that email I sent. Turns out labeling direct payments as gifted sponsorships is considered tax misrepresentation. And your venue? They've already paused your reimbursement request. Her jaw dropped. You wouldn't. I already did. Matt slammed his drink down. You completely lost perspective. Mom whispered, how could you do this to your sister? This was her wedding. Exactly, I said. A wedding built on lies and favors you never planned to repay. My dad glared at me. You're not welcome in this family anymore. I met his gaze, cool and steady. You made that clear the night you stood behind Rhea and let her humiliate me. I just didn't believe it until now. I picked up my bag, slung it over my shoulder. Oh, and Matt, you might want to check your DraftKings account. Looks like it's flagged for suspicious activity. Rhea stood, her hands shaking. I hope you know you just destroyed this family. No, I said. I'm just finally refusing to let you keep destroying me. And with that, I walked out. No dramatic door slam. No shouting. Just the sound of four people finally being forced to look at each other without a scapegoat to point fingers at. You should check your cousin's TikTok, the message read. It's going viral. And it's about you. When I walked out that night, I thought that was it. The last act. Curtains closed. I was wrong. I didn't even make it home before the text started. Rhea, you'll regret this one day. Matt, you better hope we don't cross paths again. Mom, please come back. We didn't mean it like that. I ignored all of them. For the first time in years, I felt something close to freedom. I went home, poured myself a drink, and sat in silence. No wedding drama, no subscription charges, no fake smiles, just me. The next few days were quiet, strangely quiet. I assumed they were licking their wounds, regrouping, maybe planning some new guilt campaign. Then came the video. It was Tuesday morning. I was brushing my teeth when I got a text from my old college roommate. Bro, you need to check your cousin's TikTok ASAP. I froze. Opened the app. There she was, Rhea, in full makeup and fake tears, filming herself with soft music in the background. My cousin sabotaged my wedding. He was always jealous of me. He sent fake receipts to the venue. And now they're threatening legal action. He's dangerous. Please share this so others know what family betrayal looks like. I stared at the screen. The video had over 600,000 views. The comments were insane. He's a narcissist. I hope karma eats him alive. She deserves better. Stay strong, Queen. I wanted to scream. Instead, I scrolled down and that's when I saw it. At Brian Left 2 had commented, she cheated. I have the proof. Don't believe a word, she says. My blood turned cold. Brian, her husband. I clicked the profile. It was real. And his next video, even more shocking. Hi, I'm Rhea's husband or was until last week. I've seen the messages. I know who she really is, and she's lying to you. He posted screenshots, text Rhea had sent to friends bragging about how she'd play victim if Jordan tried anything. He showed the hotel bill with charges for 2 spot packages during the bachelorette weekend she claimed she couldn't afford. He even uploaded a voicemail, Rhea's voice, saying, once Jordan's out, Grandma's inheritance is mine, and then he dropped the bomb. She's been siphoning money from Grandma's accounts for 6 months, and she forged Jordan's name on one of the withdrawal slips. I nearly dropped my phone. This wasn't just family drama, this was criminal. Suddenly, everything made sense. Why Rhea had pushed so hard to isolate me, humiliate me, make me look unstable. She needed me out of the picture before I discovered what she was really doing. I called my lawyer immediately. Send me everything, he said. If this is true, she's in serious trouble. And that was the start of it. By the end of the week, we had make records from Grandma's nurse showing unexplained withdrawals, handwriting analysis confirming the signature wasn't mine, a message from Grandma herself saying she'd felt pressured by Rhea, but didn't want to stir conflict. It was all unraveling. The girl who called me optional was now front-page local news under the headline, Bride accused of embezzling from elderly grandmother, family feud goes public. Matt deleted his Instagram. My parents went silent. The group chat? Dead. But the biggest twist? Grandma called me. Not her assistant. Not a text. Her. Directly. She said, I always knew she was greedy, but I didn't know she was this cruel. Thank you for exposing it. And Jordan, I braced myself. I've updated the will. It's yours now. All of it. Do with it what I should have done years ago. Protect the family from people like her. I sat there stunned, not because of the money, but because for the first time in my life, someone in this family believed me, stood with me, trusted me. It's strange how silence feels when you've spent your life surrounded by noise, the chaos of constant demands, the guilt trips disguised as family tradition, the whispers behind your back that you hear just loud enough to know they were meant for you. And then one day, it's all gone. Not because they stopped, but because you walked away. It's been 2 months since the wedding, 2 months since I stood in my parents' living room and finally told them the truth, not the version they wanted, but the one I'd swallowed for years, the one that tasted like ash and sounded like receipts. Ria's TikTok career imploded. The venue filed a complaint with the IRS. Her fake sponsorship plan turned into a full audit. Her wedding planner dropped her as a client. One of the vendors even posted about her publicly saying, "Let this be a warning. Not all brides are victims." Matt hasn't been online in weeks. Word is he's been laying low since the DraftKings investigation flagged his account. Something about suspicious transfers from a shared family bank card, which was never meant to exist. My parents? Oh, they've gone quiet too, but not the kind of quiet that comes from peace. No. This silence is heavy, defensive, calculating. I received a voicemail from my father last week. "Jordan, this isn't how we raised you. You've embarrassed this family. There are consequences for what you did." I didn't delete it. I saved it because it's the last time he'll ever use that voice with me. The one that says, "You owe us something." The one that used to work. Not anymore. I've moved out of the old apartment. I bought a place by the ocean. Modest, light-filled, and completely mine. No one else's name on the lease. No family plans. No shared anything. I canceled every auto payment that had ever linked me to them. Ria's Spotify? Gone. Met's Netflix? Changed the password to stop using me 123. My dad's Amazon Prime? I called customer service and removed my card with the satisfaction of a man cutting the last rope on a sinking ship. And then something unexpected happened. People started reaching out, but not the ones I thought would. It wasn't Ria or Matt begging for forgiveness. It wasn't my parents suddenly seeing the light. It was people I barely remembered. People on the edges of family functions, distant cousins, high school friends, even Brian, Ria's now ex-husband. He messaged me the day after filing for divorce. "Just wanted to say thank you. You were the only one who ever told the truth. She lied to me for 2 years. Your receipts gave me the courage to walk away." He attached a photo, the signed divorce papers. Underneath it, another message. "She's trying to rebuild her image, but nobody's listening anymore." Later that week, I got an unexpected letter in the mail, handwritten, soft cursive I hadn't seen in years. "Grandma, Jordan, I want you to know, I always saw you. They tried to drown you in noise, but you never stopped being the only one who listened when it mattered. I changed the will. It's yours now. Do with it what I couldn't. Use it to build something better, something real." I stared at the letter for a long time. Not because of the money, though I won't lie, the security it brings is life-changing. But because of the sentence, "I always saw you." It shattered something in me, and it healed something too. Because for years, I lived like a ghost in my own family. Quiet, convenient, unimportant. The guy who paid, who smiled politely, who was never in the photos, but somehow always holding the camera. And now, I don't hold anything for anyone who wouldn't do the same for me. Last weekend, I went for a walk along the beach near my new place. Just me, a coffee, and the ocean. No buzzing phone. No demands. Just peace. I didn't get revenge. I just finally chose to put myself first. A woman passing by with her dog looked at me, smiled, and said, "You look like someone who just got out of a long battle." I laughed. Close. Family reunion. She grinned and kept walking. I stood there, the tide pulling in and out, the sun warming my face, and I realized, this is the life I built. Not inherited, not gifted, built. And maybe I'll share it one day with someone who doesn't see me as optional. But for now, I'm good. Because I used to believe that family was sacred, untouchable. That no matter what, you stick by them. Now I know better. Family isn't who shares your blood. Family is who claps when you say, "I'm done." They call me bitter, petty, overdramatic. Let 'em. Because when they reach out again, and they will, they'll hear one thing: this number is no longer in service, and that will be the most generous thing I've ever given them.